Hey everyone, it's time to get it on. That's right, we're getting it on like Tron. Legacy, that is. This time on Mallard Matinee. Hey fans, we are talking about Tron Legacy, a movie from 2010. We actually talked about the prequel, or the original Tron, the original Tron on our other channel, Wasted Opinions, years ago, like 3 or 4.
2017.
Yeah.
8 years ago.
8 years ago we talked about it. We never followed it up, but CountryBoy and I, sorry I introduced you there.
I am CountryBoy, yeah.
He's CountryBoy. I'm LewisLightning. But yeah, we've been big fans of Tron, and Muskeg not so much, but we decided that we would cover it here in our own little show.
Yeah, we got a theme going on this this month. It's called
Trapped in the Simulation.
In the Simulation, exactly. So that's perfect for Tron. I mean, it's because of Tron that we have this theme, really.
And also, in like, I don't know what time how this is coming out, but in like a couple of days or a week or some shit like that, Tron Ares is coming out. So what better time to talk about Tron Legacy?
Exactly. That's another movie I'm looking forward to tentatively. There's things about that I'm not too sure about. Things about that do excite me, so I'm watching this movie is kind of resurge that excitement, I think, a little more than I was before. I
mean, this isn't talking about Tron Ares, but yeah, like Tron Ares does look exciting, brings back a lot of the stuff I loved in this film. Mm-hmm. Not a big fan of the lead, but what was your experience with Tron Legacy?
So Tron Legacy, I gotta go back to the first Tron, I guess, because I think I probably watched the first Tron maybe almost 20 years ago, something like that. And, you know, I liked it for what it was. It was a different visual looking movie. It's definitely dated nowadays. And we talked about, like I said, we said in our Wasted Opinions episode, for maybe, it's a shorter episode, but we talked about it a little bit. But yeah, no, and then knowing that they were making a sequel to that very visually different movie, and this one looks so visually different than that one, I was on board. I saw this one in the theaters, and I had a blast. I love so many things about this movie. There's things that we'll get into that I'm not as big a fan of, but this movie, yeah, it looked really cool. I love the trailer for it, and it got me so excited and amped. And when I went and saw the movie, I had a great time watching it in theaters.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've said, maybe in our other review, but we said, like, that original Tron, like, I wouldn't recommend that for people, like, oh, I'm going to watch Tron Legacy, but I need to get caught up to date, so I'm going to watch the first Tron first. Yeah. You know what? Watch Legacy and then go back. I think it's easier that way.
It might be, yeah.
It is a hard watch, I think, if you go in completely blind.
Yeah, it's more of a retrospective watch. I would agree. Yeah, kind of seeing where the start, like the early beginnings, I guess you could say, of what Tron kind of used to be.
So for me, Tron Legacy, like, I didn't know. Well, I knew about Tron. I knew it existed, the concept, but I never saw Tron until I saw Tron Legacy. Like, Tron Legacy I watched first.
You did watch it first? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, I always liked the concept of Tron, but no one I knew had it, or, you know, I didn't see any place to rent it. But I was like, okay, I'm going to watch Tron Legacy because this looks pretty freaking cool. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I went and saw it in theaters. Like, when I saw the commercials and stuff at the time, I was just like, yes, okay, this looks cool, and I want to get into Tron. Like, not like I want to become a fan of it. That just happened naturally, but I'm like, I'm digging this aesthetic. So if I can see this movie, I can find out if I like it. And then afterwards, I bought the, you know, on this
the 2-pack.
Yeah, 2-pack. It's got like the 3D and everything.
Yeah.
And that's when I watched Tron, the original, after the
pack. You get both movies in one.
Yeah. So, you know, it's a great, great movie to go back, like, to watch that and then go back. That's what I feel the best way to experience them is.
Yeah. I mean, if you watch the first one, you might not even want to see Tron Legacy after seeing the first one. You're like, eh.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, it's not a terrible movie, but it definitely is dated, and that's the issue with the first one. Whereas this one, it's 15 years old, and the visuals hold up so well.
There's one thing with the visuals.
There's one thing, literally one thing. I know, it's the elephant in the room.
Before we start getting into that, let's just get into the cast.
Yeah.
What we typically talk about after the intro. So, Garrett Hedlund, I believe his name is.
Yeah, the main Sam
character.
Yeah.
You want to talk about him first? Do you have any notes? Or?
Yeah, no, I just wrote down their names on here as well to just make sure the names are correct. But yeah, Sam Flynn, he was a good character. I mean, obviously, The original Flynn, Kevin Flynn, he's a lot older, so he can't do a lot of the physical stuff that he would have been able to do back in the 80s. So they bring in his son. So this is a younger person. He's in his 20s or something like that, and he runs the company. And he, at the very beginning, you're introduced to him first as a little child, and then his dad disappears for years. But then you see him in his 20s, and he does these kind of like these stunts. He owns the company, and he is basically giving away this program that they've developed for free to the market, because why not? He doesn't need the money. He doesn't really give a shit. And then he base jumps off of the building, and he runs from cops and all that stuff. And I'll say at first, like the first time I saw this movie, I was like, that's kind of unnecessary to have all that. That was why did he need to do all that? Then I was like, you know what? It kind of is a little necessary, because story-wise, you want to know that this guy is capable of all this physicality stuff, because in the game, he's very physical, and he does a lot of games that he has to play, and he has to show his physicality, even like driving a bike and all that stuff. So he shows all that before he goes into the game, and I think he does a really good job. I think he does a very serviceable role. He's not like a big standout actor, I'd say, but he does a good job. He does a good job of fitting the role of Kevin Flynn's son, I'd say.
Yeah, I was going to say before we get into all of it, because we have like two people who have the last name Flynn, and I might refer to them differently. Like, I call Garrett Hedlund's character Sam.
Yeah.
If I say Sam, that's obviously him.
Yeah.
And then I just prefer to Jeff Bridges as Flynn.
Well, that's what they usually called him. I know in the original too. He was usually Flynn. You always call him Flynn.
Like it's Kevin Flynn, but I never call him Kevin.
I like Flynn. Even his arcade is Flynn's arcade.
So just for you guys, if I say that, I'm referring to Jeff Bridges when I say Flynn. Yeah. Anyways, but Garrett Hedlund, I don't know him for anything else at all.
I don't either. It's been 15 years, and I don't think I've really seen him in anything else.
But I loved him in this role. Like to me, he was the perfect choice to be this Sam. Like he's a new, fresh face, and he had to be somewhat physical. Like he is physical. I mean, I don't think this movie's action packed, but I don't want to get too much into that. But he does like a few fight scenes and athletic stuff like jumping off the buildings and whatever. Yeah. So yeah, I liked him. I thought he did it really well. There's a couple things about him that I just like. First of all, he has like a fairly generic face. There's nothing that stands out, but to me, it's like he was so unknown it didn't matter. And it's kind of like what they say with Christopher Reeve about like he was Superman because you didn't know him in anything else. And to me, this is like the Tron lead because I don't know him anything else. He
kind of reminds me of like a Hayden Christensen, like maybe back before we knew who Hayden Christensen was. Yeah. He kind of has that kind of face. We didn't really know. He's a handsome young boy.
I was actually going to say a little bit like for me, not in the looks department, but like Sam Worthington in that until Avatar, I didn't really know him, but he felt like a good person, like for Avatar, like a good lead. Yeah. Like he has all the qualities of a leading man.
A lot of times it's good to have someone you don't know so they can fill this role and you don't have an expectation of how they're going to be.
I really liked his performance. Like I felt he was perfect. There's one thing I made a note of it towards the end because the whole movie I realized he was doing his walk. He's got like a weird swagger when he walks.
I didn't notice that.
Well, they have a couple of times where he's like walking into a light or something like that, and he really has a swagger. It's weird. But anyways, I guess the second most important character to talk about is Jeff Bridges. We already talked about him a little bit. Yeah. I'll start this one, but Jeff Bridges is from the original Tron. Obviously, he's a lot older now than he was back then. Yeah. Back then when he was younger, it was easier for him to be like this. I don't know, kind of hipster or cool, jazzy dude.
Yeah, he was. Well, it was the 80s, and he owned an arcade, and he knew programming and stuff like that. But no, he was also like the cool, like people came to like his arcade and like they partied with him and stuff like that.
Well, that's kind of like his character in what's the one with John Goodman's character? Like he's the dude.
Oh, the Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski, yes. He's kind of like that in the way that he's like, hey man, and he always has this 70s.
Well, he even says it was like jazz in here too. He's like, yeah,
that's far out, man. He says stuff like that. Like it's kind of dated, but that's just that guy growing up. For me, that's just kind of weird because like I really think of the original Iron Man movie when I think of Jeff Bridges, and like he is so corporate there, right? He's not like that. Yeah. But this is obviously a reference back to his character. And he was stuck in the grid. I don't want to call it the game world, even though there is games in there, but it's just the grid.
Yeah.
But he was stuck in there since like 1989, was it?
I think it was wasn't it the 90s? It's like 92 or something?
I think it was, yeah.
Maybe.
We'll look it up.
You could be right, I don't know.
But, yeah, he's been in there for 20 years, they say.
Okay.
And, like, he's still living like that. Like, he's fighting about, like, Wi-Fi and all this other stuff. And he's like, what is that? I don't know what that is.
I had that idea.
He had that idea, but that's all different stuff, like, for him. So he played, like, and now he's kind of more, less, like, free mind, free spirited, and more tries to go Zen.
You're messing with my Zen thing, man.
I guess he's more stoic, and
he's more Jedi-esque, I'd say.
It's a good performance. Like, I kind of wish he did something a little bit like physical, but he's too old for that, I think. Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, you and me. Yeah, it's been like
or at least
28 years since the first movie, I think.
I say he's too old for that, but then you see, I can never remember his name, the guy who was J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man.
Oh, J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons is older and he's
you see his physicality. So, I don't remember what movie he was getting ripped for. I think it was for Santa. I think it was that Red One movie. I think he was getting jacked for that movie.
I saw the Tomorrow War and he's ripped for that as well.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, like, it's not just he's old. He's also just didn't keep in physical shape to do that kind of thing.
Exactly. He's a pudgier guy now.
But it's good reference to his character who's grown a little bit. And Jeff Bridges is great. I mean,
I'm glad they brought him back because it definitely grounds this back to the original movie a little bit more. Is there any more characters you want to?
Well, the only other one I think that deserves to be talked about is Olivia Wilde as Cora.
Okay.
I found she's a pretty main character. There's a little something with the plot with her that kind of makes her more integral towards the end, but
yeah, I like knowing that she's the last ISO. I mean, if you're watching this, obviously you've probably seen the movie, so spoilers, I guess. I don't know if that's a spoiler. She's the last ISO.
But yeah, it's like, I liked her. I thought she was a great casting, another great casting choice. Like, she has this kind of weird look, like in the world of the game.
She's got a sexy look to her. I don't know. I love that.
It reminds me of like a young Eartha Kitt. Like, her eyes really and stuff.
Yeah, like Catwoman.
Yeah, but yeah, like, she's like really sexy, great look. But her character is a lot more like curious. Like, she's learning. She's
got like an innocence about her, and like a curiosity because she doesn't know about the outside world at all. So she like asks, "What does the sun look like?"
She knows stuff from like Jules Verne and books she's read, but she doesn't actually know. Right?
Exactly. And so I love that about her too because she has this sense of wonder and this innocence about her, and you like this character right from the get go. And she saves him on the grid in the one game that sort of your introduction is. When she comes and saves Sam, I should say, and she is like partners with Flynn, and I think she's just great. I think that she has a great look to her, and she acts the part as well too. She does a really good job. Yeah. I will say there's a couple more out there as well too. Like we can say there's the original Tron or Alan Bradley, the actor
Bruce Boxleitner.
Is that what his name? I think so.
I don't know how you say it. Boxleitner? I don't know how to pronounce it.
It looks like Leitner. Yeah, you're right. So he's in there. He's got a smaller role, but he was kind of like the stand-in dad for Sam, he said, when his dad disappeared all those years ago. And again, it's nice bringing him back because he was Tron in the first movie.
Honestly, I like his character a lot, but he's not even in the original, he's not really playing a character so much. He's just like... he's a program and he's there just to do certain things. Like he progresses the story, but he's like a blank slate otherwise kind of. And here the Tron in the game in the grid is not really him. Like, that's a different actor.
It's obviously because you don't even see the face. Because all you do the old when they do the flashback stuff, you do kind of see like the de-aged version of him, but it's so like pixelated and stuff.
But like him, the actual actor, he has very little to do. Mm-hmm. But to me, he's still like how he was in the olden days.
Well, I guess originally he wasn't even going to be in the movie, but then fans had like a big outcry. They wanted him to come to this movie, so they wrote a spot for him into this movie because they like, why wouldn't you have the guy that played Tron in your Tron movie?
I do like him, but I don't know exactly what it is he adds, but just knowing that he was there, because he was always the guy who just wanted to do the right thing, like the good thing, and that's what kind of Tron became in the grid in the original.
Yeah,
and like. Everyone kind of had their own character within the real world, and then an analog in the other one. And he was the good guy in the grid.
And I'll say this: there's one more actor in here that I totally forgot was even in this movie. Total throwaway. And I'm like, why did they even bother having him in this movie? But Cillian Murphy.
Oh.
like he was in this movie for what 5 minutes in the introduction where they're in the board meeting sort of thing. He plays Edward Dillinger, which is the son of the bad dude in the first movie, who was Professor Perry in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Okay.
But he plays his son apparently. And he's just gone. Like he doesn't come back in the movie. Were they setting something up for the next movie or something like that? Because if you're gonna have someone like Cillian Murphy, who's now an Oscar-winning actor, and then just have him not come back, it seems like a total waste.
I wouldn't even mention him. Like I think like the Michael Sheen.
Yeah.
Is more.
Oh yeah,
is a bigger role.
We should have brought him up too, yes.
But I think out of the first three we mentioned, those are what you really have to talk about.
Yes.
Everyone else,
100%.
Like. Box Lightner or Leitner, whatever his name is.
They're definitely
Cillian Murphy
side characters.
And Sheen, yeah, they're side characters, whatever.
Well, we talked about Jeff Bridges, but we didn't talk about his second character.
Well, I was going to say, you might wonder, like, oh, then who was the villain in this? Because you guys talked about Sam was like the main hero, then Jeff Bridges is his dad, who was also a good guy, and then we talked about Cora, who's like on their side as well. Yeah. It's like, so who's the villain? We didn't talk about any other main characters.
Yeah.
Who's the villain?
It's Jeff Bridges' copy of himself, which he named Clue.
Yeah.
And it helped him create the grid. Because it started from the ground up, basically. And he talks about back in the day, like how they wanted to create a perfect society in the grid. And their idea of what perfect world are two different things. And so Clue kind of became this evil villain, and he wanted things to be like perfect, like computer perfect. And that's the thing about perfection there's no real.
It's something to strive for, but you can never attain. But
yeah.
Clue had to see a definite end, so he had definite things that had to happen.
Exactly, and that's why he got rid of all the ISOs, because they're unpredictable. You know, they're not something that you can compute with. You know, they're their own thing. They have their own mindset. So that's why he got rid of them. And Jeff Bridges' character, Flynn, I should just say Flynn. He had to take off because he was probably going to get rid of him as well too. And Clue's ultimate goal is to leave the grid, and he's building an army, and he's trying to get out of the grid, and kind of do this to the real world.
Yeah. So if you want to just start getting into the movie in general itself, I have tons of notes, but do you have anything you want to start with?
I'll just we already said like the visuals of this movie, freaking awesome. I was watching this and I was like, along with the music and the visuals paired so well together. Daft Punk did the score for this movie, and I thought it still had 80s vibes, like because it has like the synth sound and stuff going on.
In the intro, they have I shouldn't say intro, but in the first 10 minutes, they have "Sweet Dreams" from the Eurythmics, right?
Yes, and they also got like a Journey song as well too.
Yeah,
it definitely brings back to the 80s. But then it all mixes, and it's kind of like more like a techno, like futuristic vibe as well too.
Yeah,
mixed in there, and then just the visual of everything, like this the beams of light on everything, the buildings, the people's suits that they're wearing, the vehicles that they're driving. So cool. It is a beautiful looking movie that 15 years on, and it still stands out. Except for one visual, which we did kind of mention a little bit.
So, yeah, the de-aged Jeff Bridges, Clue. I mean, he's also just de-aged in the beginning in the real world.
Yeah.
Even at the time, I didn't think it was great.
Yeah,
I noticed it then, and now you're really going to notice it. It's kind of like the Polar Express.
Yeah, it's Uncanny Valley. Uncanny Valley.
Maybe like 3% better or 5% better than that. Mm-hmm. But it's still that, and that they thought they were proud of it because in the intro, he's kind of in shadow when he's telling the story, and he starts walking out of the room after telling the story to his kid, and he stands in kind of a brightly lit doorway, turned around, and then he turns to the camera it's a big reveal,
presents his face.
He looks so good, young. It's but he didn't. He did not look that good.
No, not quite. And it's forgivable when it's Clue because he is a copy, he's a program. Yeah. It's understandable on the grid, that's fine. But when he's playing a young version of Flynn, it's so noticeable, and it's kind of gross looking. It's Uncanny Valley. It doesn't look good.
I think you get used to it. It works for Clue. Like I said, Clue, you can totally ignore it. And thankfully, they don't go a whole lot to him being the young, real Flynn.
Yeah.
But
like I'll say like how Star Wars like updated their visuals how many years later on. I'd be okay if Tron did an updated version of just Jeff Bridges' young version.
Yeah.
If they did an updated version of that, you know, that would be fine with me. You know, put that on Disney Plus, have him look like that. That'd be cool. But that is literally the only visual that bothered me.
well, speaking of the visuals, there's a couple things I'm gonna jump around because
Okay.
I have notes just as I went through the movie. The very beginning, when you see like the Disney Pictures logo, how it's all Tronified.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
sick. I like that.
Yeah,
like,
that was awesome.
I want a sequel just to see that again.
Just to see the Disney like Princess Castle in like Tron like lights and stuff like that. That was sweet. Yeah.
But it's interesting, like you mentioned the clothing, the environments, the vehicles. They all look great and stuff. Like otherwise, but the environments I found like I don't know. This is good and bad at the same time, but that they kind of like seemed empty. They were both empty, like
Yeah.
and they look like Jeff Bridges looks terrible. You look at the environments and like they look good. It's like it's still CG there, but like it's so empty and it's just like it feels like they're on a soundstage in the meta, right?
Yeah.
But then in the world of the game, like well, it's because there isn't anything to fill that in, right? There's no plants. It's not like there's water and stuff growing chaotically.
Exactly.
It's all computer where either something exists or it's made.
Everything has a
or
purpose.
doesn't
It's
exist.
there.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And like we talked about the suits a little bit too. I read up about the suits that were like it was practical too. Like they actually had light strips on their suits. I honestly would have thought it would have been like green screen strips or something. And they would just color that in afterwards.
Oh.
No, they actually had literal like light strips, and apparently like, they were super hot to wear, and they hated wearing them. It was super hot, and the lights on them would only last like 12 minutes. For the battery pack, so they had to turn them off like every time they hit cut. They turn off the battery pack just to have them last as long as possible. And everybody was wearing them, so like it was super expensive just to wear the suits.
They looked fantastic. I wanted to go to the special
It
features
was awesome.
and check out how they did it, but I didn't have time.
I want like Flynn's hoodie that he wears with the lights inside. That looks so sweet.
Yeah. I did like how like they summed up the first Tron movie in like the first 5 minutes. How he's just talking to his son. He's like, "Yeah, we made the grid. We had like Tron saved it." And blah blah blah. Like, you didn't really need to know about the first movie other than Jeff Bridges was there. He went inside Tron. And that's about it.
And I was thinking at first, I was like, "What? Why are there like action figures and stuff
That was the thing.
for this?" But I guess Tron ended up being like a hot selling game after the fact. Too.
But
they mentioned it, like the news article was saying like it was the best selling game for this year or whatever. So apparently it went on to be more than what it was in the first movie.
But like it was like an 8-bit game, and this is like 1989 or something or whatever it was. He's talking to his kid. And he has the figures, and it's like those are really detailed figures, and a lot of those characters didn't like exist in that. Like I mean, in the game, like you wouldn't go to the arcade and be playing this 8-bit thing and be like, "Oh, this is what he looks like." Like Clue isn't a character in the game.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would he have that?
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
I could understand them making toys and stuff, but they go a little bit too specific with. Here's Clue. Here's Tron.
Well, even at one point, what's his face? Sam. He's battling against the one guy. He's like, "Oh, I have a figure of you." It's like, who was that guy? I don't think we don't know who he is, and he just beats him right away.
I thought it was weird when he's breaking into NCOM in the beginning. He goes to that big door that he hacks into, and it's like 4-foot thick door. Yeah. Like steel plated.
Vault
it's got
door.
like six locking bolts in it and everything. It's just like, but it's just a regular office building. Like,
what are they hiding in there?
Well, sure, they have that server room with all the information on it, but I mean, I'm pretty sure all the executives aren't going in that way. And modern office buildings have server rooms too. They don't fucking have doors that freaking big.
Don't they?
I like that touchscreen boardroom table they have. Like all those touchscreen tables are awesome. Like I wonder if they were on set, like practically working, or was that just like, okay, remember, you look like you're hitting all this.
I do remember in the first movie they had like the big touchscreen like table that he actually did. Was able to talk, like manipulate with the computer and stuff like that, which was cool.
Parachuting down from the top of the building was not a good escape plan. Like, first of all, they know you're in the building, so they're already gonna have the cops on their way. Yeah, and then you're gonna parachute down, which, initially the fall is fast, but then you got to stop, and everyone's gonna see you when that parachute.
Oh, and I'll say, when he pulls a parachute, he pulls it way too late.
I
There's
don't
no
know.
way. He does it so close to the ground, and there's like no I'm saying I've never parachuted before, but I don't think that's something you can do. Like 20 feet from the ground, basically.
I was gonna say 30 feet, and that might be generous.
Yeah.
When he goes to the arcade, why are Flynn's keys left outside the door, like still in there, but he got zapped into the world? Like, did he just think like, oh, I'll just leave my keys in the door, I'll be right back?
Well, probably. He probably was thinking I'll be back and then I'll lock up and it'll already be there for me when I go out. I don't know.
So weird.
I didn't really think about that at all.
And then he's in there and it says like, the time inside the grid's like 20 years, so many hours, blah, 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 blah. But like when Sam came in, he had to turn the breaker on, put power on. So like, how was that running? Like the obvious answer is that something else was powering it, like outside the breaker box. But like you had power going there for 20 years. Who's footing that bill? Like no one was using that arcade as far as we know.
Kencom, I don't know. It's his company, so his property. I'm not too sure.
And then so when he goes into the world, gets picked up immediately, and they put him in the games. I love the shot when he's like he's going into the games. He doesn't know what it is, but this door opens up and there's like a blinding white light. You can't even see what is out there, and he walks into it. But that's a classic like Tron shot of walking into like this cyber world.
They even kind of like allude to that earlier with the helicopter when they pick up the helicopter and the light comes down, like the spotlight, and he stops and he looks up. So they was like, okay, they're already kind of like paying homage to the original with the light and stuff like that.
And they do that at the end when he has to go through the portal, and then they do the whole holding up the disc into the beam of light. It's so perfect. I like the look of we know Jem. We don't get the other names, but Jem and those other three women.
Yeah, the blonde one as Jem.
She's white. I wouldn't say she's blonde.
Or white hair, whatever it was.
But how they all walk in sync and like it's all like planned steps. Everything's planned, and then they do it in reverse. And I'm like, okay, I think they just reversed that shot somehow. Like maybe Garrett Hedlund was the only one that actually was acting in reverse, and they went forward so that they could play it backwards. It looks like
maybe
going.
And they have those things.
Yeah, they like go into the walls. Even in the ship, sometimes like they go into where they're piloting, and it just closes in around them.
Yeah, that's cool. I was like all uniformed.
I felt bad for the all the other programs, like the innocent ones that get killed in the games, because like they scream or they run or.
Well, the one dude, he's like, "No, I don't want to play in the games." And he just literally just kills himself, jumps into a fan.
Yeah, but like we don't really know a whole lot about them, but we just assume they're innocent.
Yeah.
But like there's like the guy who falls off his bike and Sam brings him back a second. He goes to give it to him. And he's so happy, and then crushed by a bike, and it's just like, oh my god, the guy did nothing. He was such a nice guy.
Yeah. And I'll say another one of the visuals and everything, like even like the scars on their face. Yeah. That was cool. They had like pixelated scars, or like when they would like be like de-rezzed or killed, whatever you want to call it. They would like be just a bunch of pixels like go flying everywhere. It was just a cool visual effect.
I was going to note something similar. When they talk, a lot of them had like a little distortion in their voices.
Oh yeah, those ones did.
The more like even Clue, like the more main characters don't have that as much, but a lot of like Jem, and some of the other side characters, you notice that like when they're talking, something fluctuates in their voice, and there's a little bit of digital distortion going on there.
Marion complete, disk activated and synchronized. Proceed to games.
Well, I like that.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then so when they're eating with Flynn in his hideout, is that necessary? Do you have to eat in the world? Because that food is like, it looks like beans and other stuff.
There was like a turkey there, wasn't there? Or was it turkey or was it ham? Or it was a big bird or a big animal.
But like, that's obviously not, there's no turkeys running around. There's no bean plants growing.
I'm assuming he programs it to taste like as much as of what food would be.
But do you have to eat when you're in there?
I don't know. What are the rules exactly?
It's so confusing. Like towards the end, we like, I guess first of all in the beginning we see Sam gets cut, a drop of blood comes out, and that sets off Rinsler, and he's like, "Oh, this isn't a normal person. This is a user." And then later on, Cora gets out of the world, and I'm just like, okay, but we've seen ISOs and everyone else who's a program, when they die in the world of the grid, they go into like...
Well, she even lost her arm at one point, too.
They turn to cubes. They don't turn to blood and guts and stuff like that. But now that she's in the real world, does that still apply?
Exactly. Is now she a physical being? Or is she still like a digital thing? Like, would she just be pixelations?
Will she get old? Because there's no kids in the grid. Everything's adults. Like, do they age?
And like, obviously, like Flynn ages. He's in the grid for how many years, and he does age. So he's still, obviously, there's still mortal. So I think he would have to consume food,
like,
if that makes sense, because he's got the blood, like you said, and he is aging.
But then what's the food?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you can program it enough to be satisfying for the body.
Like, I wish either they didn't put that in, or that they just said it's nutrients that I just make it look this way, you know, somehow. Like, it's like information, like inside a computer, that is just like a fluctuation of a current that makes a 1 or a 0. He's like, I just transfer that energy into me for sustenance. I make it look like food so it doesn't seem weird.
I'm wondering if maybe at some point he actually like brought in food at some point and he just copied it or something for years or something like that. That's how he's able to have food in the world, because I mean, you can't actually literally reproduce food. As long as there's actual chickens in this world, cooked up or something like that.
It's not explained. I just wish either that they gave a throwaway line to explain it, or they didn't do it.
Yeah.
But there's also a part where it's a flashback, and like Clue says to him, like, Flynn, didn't you create me to be the perfect, to create the perfect world or whatever? He's like, Flynn's response is like, yeah. He says yeah, but it's such a weird way of saying
like,
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was more like a question. Like,
Am I still to create the perfect system? Yeah.
But it sounded so weird. It was like, oh, like, are you really trying to play up his kind of like hippie side that made it sound that way? Otherwise, it was a bad take. I don't know what it was. It was so strange. And then they say a line in the movie, the only way to win is not to play. And I'm like, is that a reference to War Games? Because that's War Games with Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
Like, they talk about the game he's playing, which I think is called War Games. I haven't seen it. But he finds out, like, the only way to win is not to play with this. Because in that movie, he's got real nukes and stuff that they're planning out a scenario how to bomb each other. Mm-hmm. And there's no way to win, they say. The only way to win is not to play. But then Sam's response is, yeah, but that's a hell of a way to live. And I'm like, are they trying to both reference and throw shade at War Games? Like, I don't know when it came out, but it's also like an 80s movie.
I think it was a made-for-TV movie, actually. I don't think it even came on theaters, but it was a big thing because they had like, the whole thing with Russia at the time. Yeah. And it was about, like, the nuclear war.
The character of Castor, who's also, we later find out, Zeus.
Yeah.
Just when I first saw him, I'm like, he just seems a little bit out of place. Like, he is way too lively and animated. And
very eccentric, and
every other program we've seen is very, I have this to do, and that's about it. The only one that really kind of shows emotion is Clue, and that's because he gets frustrated when things don't go his way.
Yeah.
He doesn't, like, joke around, get, like, giddy and stuff like that. Like, so Castor, Zeus, always seemed odd to me.
It's kind of strange that someone like Clue would want someone like Castor in his world, because he does seem like he would be kind of his own mind, do his own things.
Well, Castor switched sides too, right?
Yeah.
And then he does write him off as well.
Yeah.
But like immediately I was like, even when I first watched it, I'm like, I don't trust this Zeus Castor character at all. And it's like, no, there wasn't. I kind of more trusted Jem. Because she's kind of helped Sam in the beginning by telling him what to do. Like,
she's
don't die and
stuff. Yeah.
Kind of give him, I'll lead you to these people, help them find Zeus, which Korra told him to find in the first place. So it's not like it was all a setup all along. Yeah. So she seemed like she was helping too, but no.
But I mean, Zeus or Castor, he's got Daft Punk in his DJ booth.
They were evil too.
Yeah. They were, like, how did they get them in there?
And I like how they're still like separated. They're trapped in like this hole in the wall, and they never interact with anyone else the whole time. Yeah, they're doing what they do in the real world.
They just do DJ music.
But I like that they didn't really have to dress up either. Like, what they wore
just wearing their helmets.
It's already the same thing.
Exactly.
I like that they reused a lot of the vehicles from like the original movie.
Yeah, like updated.
Everything's updated. Like even that light train thing. Like in the original movie, it's like, this is so weird. Like, they're basically figuring it out to model like a sphere or a cube, or the basic shapes in digital, like the digital world, and it looks bad.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, wow.
It was impressive in 1982.
These things look so much better, and I'm glad they kept with it.
And it's cool, like even like those weird like things that like go like this, like they got like they're like grabbers or something. They had those in the first movie.
Identifiers or something like that.
But they're definitely more upgraded versions of it. I wish we would have saw something like the tanks that they had in the original movie.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
That would have been cool. We'd have saw those tanks.
They added a few. Like I don't think they had those jets left.
Yeah, I don't think they had any flying jets.
And those light jets, I thought they were a great addition. Like the light bikes are awesome, right? Like that's a cool thing. But I think that when you put that into the air in the form of those jets, that makes it so much better because now you're working in like 3 dimensions, up, down. Like they tried put 3 dimensions with the grid. In
the different levels and stuff.
But this is truly like you're not only shooting and dodging gunfire or laser fire, whatever it is, but now you're also like trying to navigate these light rails that could blow you up if you touch them, right? And it's just like, okay, if this guy spirals, I gotta spiral as well because I can't.
Exactly, you gotta stay within that that zone.
Oh yeah, there was also a scene where like I'm trying to remember what happened to Flynn. Oh, he was knocking on the roof and hearing the sound it makes, something like that. He's knocking on the sky and listening to the sound it makes, and he's kind of doing like a meditation thing on his own. Mm-hmm. And Sam and Cora, because Cora just wakes up after she got her arm fixed. Yeah. But they're like sitting there talking, and Flynn comes out of his meditation. And he kind of looks at them from a distance, and he smiles with like. But it's a nice, like, fatherly smile. I was like, oh, you know what? It's kind of like he's looking at his 2 kids, right? Because Sam is biologically his kid, but Cora was something like he made the grid, and she just emerged. She's life that just came from that. Which is his creation.
And he's had to protect her for years.
In a way, Clue was also one of his children, but he was like the one that...
The black sheep of the family.
Well, the one that just got aggressive and just... Whatever, he had problems. He was the problem child.
I'll say... we love the visual of this movie. One thing I wish they did is tie into the original visuals at one point. Like when they did like a flashback of them creating the grid, I wish they would have shown the original visuals of the first movie. Like show that, have them like maybe like how they would have maybe transitioned that into the new look. Because even when they show like his toys look like the new versions of the characters with the light stripes and stuff like that. I wish they would have had some sort of a transition from the first movie to this one in one of the flashbacks. I wish they would have done that just to kind of show us that this is how it used to be, and now we've upgraded to this.
I don't. I think the reasoning that you don't see that is because that was just a limitation of how they could display it to us, like the filmmakers.
No, I know that.
They want it to look the certain way.
I just feel like it would have tied in that much more if they would have had those visuals. Even if for like a 2-minute period of the movie, just show us that part of the movie, and then like, hey, now we're gonna restart the grid in a new way, and then have it the way it looks now.
I know that feels very meta. Like you didn't need to do that. Like they're kind of saying this is the way that we always wanted the world to look. We just couldn't do it in 1980, whatever that the original came out. Mm-hmm. There was also a part where like Cora, she loses that first the first fight we see her in. She gets her ass handed to her. She loses her arm or whatever. They get to like this train station and it's like the next big fight. Immediately she's like, I'm going to sacrifice myself. I'm like, okay. Just as an audience member, knowing how movies and stuff go, there's no way they're going to waste their time saving this character only for her very next thing to do is to kill her. Like, that would just be like, well, why the hell did we do that? Why did we kill that character off?
Well, some bad storytelling has done that. And
then could Clue's invasion really have succeeded? Like, he had a few thousand, maybe 100,000.
Yeah, I know. Like
to go to the real world, and it's like,
could it compete with the actual real outside world kind of military?
Yeah, numbers alone, like I don't think you'd compete with like the U.S. where you're going into.
Yeah,
and then the whole world, no, you wouldn't be able to do that. And then there's nukes. Like, sure, you could say like your jets and stuff are different and whatever, but that's not going to help with a nuke.
Yeah,
done.
I don't know. I mean, he just had a unbelievable idea of what the outside world would be, and he just was in his own head.
And there's like a part where they're flying their jet, like towards the end, when they're flying their jet towards the portal, and like the Rinsler, I don't want to call him the Rinsler, but Rinsler flies over him, and they're like barrel rolling over, and Jeff Bridges' character says to him like, Tron, what have we done to you? Mm-hmm. And then like he goes in place to like shoot him, but he decides like Rinsler turns back to Tron, I guess. Like he remembers who he was.
He's like in the water or whatever. He's like,
but he remembers though. He's like, he gets a flashback and he's like, I protect the users before he changes color. And it's like, so wait, what triggered that? Did he actually hear Jeff Bridges through the thing?
I'm not sure. Like, I don't know if he like died or got knocked out when he like got his airship blown up or something like that, and then woke up and like, wait a minute, I am Tron.
I like that Tron took out Clue. I just wish he killed him. Like that to me would have been poetic.
I fight for the users.
I just wish he killed him. Like that to me would have been poetic. We didn't need Clue to come back and have that very last encounter. I don't want to call it a fight.
On
it's
the
like
bridge,
an encounter.
yeah.
But yeah, it's like because Tron was betrayed by Clue there. Like he got beaten that first time.
Yeah.
And now it's like, yes, now he beats him, but no, he didn't really beat him. They both fell.
Yeah.
And Clue still came out on top. And you get the tease that Tron's back, but you never see it.
It's never. That's what I'm saying. I think they were planning sequels to this movie because, like I said, they had Cillian Murphy, that's a big name actor, and then they also have like Tron kind of comes back at the very end of the movie, but then they do nothing with it.
And for Tron in general, there's very little Tron. Even as the Rinsler, he's always just kind of like the silent stalker, and he's not always there.
He's like his minion. He's his lackey.
Yeah, but it's like for a movie called Tron, he's not in it a whole lot. It seems like. How did Clue get to the portal before them? Like he crashes out behind them.
Yeah, I know.
Falls. Somehow gets on a jet. Gets there ahead of them without them noticing either.
Yeah.
Which they're going the same path. It's a straight line. Like how did he get there before them?
They stopped for some burgers and shakes on the way.
And then was the whole grid destroyed in the end? Because
I'm not 100% sure, because when he absorbs Clue, when Flynn absorbs him, there's that big explosion and kind of everything sucks back
why
in.
it explodes even.
Exactly. Does it explode? Does he recreate it? I don't know. All I understand is that Clue's back into him now. And wait a minute, where did he get that ability from? Well, he just puts his hands down, and he's just like, and then all of a sudden, like, Clue's like trying to grasp at them. He can't. He's getting sucked back, and then he like absorbs them. He's like, what is this?
That's what I said. Why didn't he just do that at any point in the past? He could have defeated him.
Did he know he could do this?
Like maybe he just didn't want to destroy the grid, but you destroyed the grid anyways.
Yeah.
That's about like just going through the movie. All the notes I had. Like I have some overall thoughts too. Yeah. Like I didn't think the ISOs were necessary. Like it's a plot point that
I think it's made to be a bigger deal than it really was. At least to the viewer. Like if they could have elaborated on it a little bit more, like how important they were. But yeah, it was such a throwaway thing. They showed up and then they were basically destroyed. And it's okay.
And it's like Core's the last one, and it's like, oh okay, but like what? Why
is that important?
Like they say, if it was brought to the real world that they had some like cancer, they could find stuff for cancer. But she's not a human. Like they didn't explain it well. I don't know why she's that important.
Yeah,
like, none of that seemed important.
Yeah,
but I don't know if you have anything else to add. I know I was talking my face off about this.
No, I just I got just some things that I like about the movie is in Flynn's like his apartment room or whatever, that big light room that he has where he's like doing the Zen and stuff. At one point he puts this little artifact on top of the mantle. I thought that was cool because it's a callback to the first movie with the bit that is always like following them around. It's kind of like their little sidekick dude. I was like, I didn't need a bit in this movie because it's kind of like an annoying little thing that doesn't.
I don't even think of it. I don't even think of it when I go back, but I knew what it's from.
But yeah, as soon as he put it down, I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool callback because they had the bits in the first movie, so that's kind of neat that they did that.
I kind of wondered why there was one silver, one gold.
Like, I wondered that too. If that was any reference.
I thought like maybe like one was like Clue's, one was Flynn's, but like when they didn't need them, like Flynn just took them both.
Yeah.
Because then there's also Clue was using those two balls that seemingly controlled the map. In the first game.
It was controlling the game.
I thought maybe that was kind of like a reference to those things, but they never get used the bits in this movie, other than just being on a shelf. Yeah. So I wonder if that was something. And he never uses those balls again outside of that room.
No.
So that was just for the games, I guess.
And another thing I wanted to just bring up is the director, Joseph Kosinski. I thought this is really cool. Like, this is the biggest budget movie for a first director that had ever existed at this point. $170 million. This is his first time directing a movie, apparently, and it's a big budget, $170 million. And he's gone on to do some really good movies. He's done Top Gun Maverick, and he's done F1, which is both those movies have garnered a lot of praise recently. So I can see where it's coming from, because he did a really good job. Like, even the camera work in this movie is really good. Like, there's a lot of really good shifting of camera work and movement. It works really well with the layout of the movie, the vibe of the movie.
Yeah. Did you have anything else to say? I don't know.
I'll take a look at my notes if there's one more thing that I have or not. Like, the Uncanny Valley, Jeff Bridges. There was another thing that I kind of noticed. I wasn't 100% sure, so I checked it out, and it was. But when they go into like the flying machine and Cora's gonna drive it, Flynn says to her, "It's all in the wrist." That's a callback to him in the first movie, I guess, when he's playing the light cycle game. Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, how do you do it? So you're so good." He's, "Well, it's all in the wrist."
Hey, Flynn, how'd you do it? It's all in the wrist.
I will say it feels like the story never gets out of first gear.
I mean, I feel like it doesn't know what it wants to do.
Yeah, towards the end, I feel like I said, it doesn't get out of first gear, but towards the end, I feel like they're trying to shift, but it doesn't get there. Like, yeah. If I can use that metaphor. But yeah, like, it's fun to kind of explore the world and stuff, because that world is such a vibe. Like, the costumes, the look of everything, it's amazing. I love it for that.
Yeah.
But the story of actually what's going on, what everything's like, it's not that. There's nothing really there. There's nothing deep to it or anything.
I agree. The story is the weakest part of this movie.
Clue is trying to get out, I guess. Mm-hmm. He thought he destroyed all the ISO, so it's not even really about the ISOs anymore. But we don't even really find out Clue's full end game until the end. It's kind of like, a battle of wits between Clue and Flynn. That those 20 years they spent in there, they were like making moves to counter one another, mm-hmm. and that's why the only way to win is not to play. So he hasn't done anything for so long. But it's like, okay, so what is the winning scenario? And we never know until probably like the last quarter of the movie, where suddenly it's like, all these trains, which they're not really featured in the movie until that point. Yeah, these trains are filled with guys who are being turned into soldiers for an invasion force. Like, we never heard of this at all.
No, it kind of comes out of nowhere.
So I didn't care for that.
And I'll say my favorite part of both movies is the games. I love the games in the first one. I love the games in this one as well too. But it's not enough of it. Like, it is, you go in and he plays the game with the discs that they're throwing at each other, and then he does the light cycle game, and that's basically it for the games.
But is the grid supposed to be about the games? Like, I know it's in a arcade and stuff. Like,
I don't know if it's supposed to be about the games, but that's my favorite parts of the movie, and I wish there was at least one more game.
In the first movie, he taught, like, there's other programs, and one of them's like, I'm an accounting program. Mm-hmm. So, like, there just seem to be random programs, and sure, some are games, some aren't. Yeah. That's the way I always viewed it. It's not really about the games. It's entertaining, don't get me wrong. That's the entertaining part. Yeah. But I just wish it was, like, I don't need a whole lot more. But, like, if you can integrate them a little bit better, I would say.
I mean, I would have been fine. Like, it would have been cool if, like, Clue caught up to them at one point and he forced them to play a game to the death or something like that, kind of like gladiatorial type of game at some point. And then they got away, and then they got onto the train sort of thing. That would have been awesome. One more game. I would have been so happy with that. But at the same time, it is a longer movie already as it is, so what would you cut out in order to do something like that?
And I got a little confused with the discs, because the discs are really vital for them as well. Like, it's their, I don't say it's their life force, but
it's the knowledge of who they are, basically.
But, like, there's sometimes where, like, sometimes they start dual wielding, they're throwing them around, but they're dual wielding someone else's at times, and then, like, they bounce around or they don't come back. I'm like, wait, so whose did you lose? It's hard to keep track of at times. Like, I thought Cora's was gone at one point, but she suddenly has it at the end. I was like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So, unless you have anything else, I'm going to get into the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Sounds good.
So, I'll do my good first.
Okay.
So, looking at the good that I had was the vibe. Like, the costume design, chef's kiss, the environments are good as well. Like I said, they feel like both a little alien and empty, but I feel like that's what it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Like, but once you get in that world, you love it. Like, you love being there. You want to see more of it. Like, that's why 90% of the movie takes place there.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, yeah, that's my good.
My good, it's basically the same thing. I had on my thing. It was the visual style of this movie, coupled with the music, because that adds a lot to it as well too. I love the retro but futuristic sort of sound of the music that they add to it. Like, Daft Punk did a really good job of this soundtrack. It is just it sounds great, and it looks like it matches everything perfectly. Like visually, minus the one thing, I'll give this like a 10 out of 10 visually, minus the Jeff Bridges of it all.
Look at those light bikes; it's just amazing.
yeah, visually, visuals for sure.
Yeah,
sound.
For the bad, I'm gonna say the big bad guy's plot is only revealed at, like, the last quarter of the movie. Like, I didn't like that. Like, the whole time it feels like you're just waiting for like what is going on, but it's you're almost at the end of the movie before they show that, like I said, the light train and stuff. That was the worst thing for me. It was just like, oh, come on. Like, if there's a flaw, it's a story here is just a little bit lacking, and that's a big part of it. They don't have the plot revealed until the very end.
Yeah. My bad is the Cillian Murphy. You know, he wasn't in it enough.
Like the whole boardroom part is like, in the first 10 minutes, never again. You know, like, you don't see any of those. Not just Cillian Murphy. You don't see whoever the guy was that was giving the presentation. Yeah. He's not there anymore.
Because when Sam eventually does come back into the regular world with Cora, they just drive off with the bike, and that's about it. That's the end. Like, there's no.
He does say he's taken over the business, but he never goes there.
No. That's why, again, I feel like they were setting up sequels to this movie. I feel like they were.
Then you want to start with the ugly?
The ugly is probably the most obvious thing that is ugly about this movie is the look of Flynn, young Flynn. Yeah. That is his ugly. He looks, his mouth doesn't move right, and his eyes are always too squinty, and it's so digital. You could tell. Like, they've done de-aging way better than that since then. It's still not perfected, but even back then, like you even mentioned, like, it didn't look right even then.
Yeah. To be fair, I think they did that Boxleitner as well. He it's not only Jeff Bridges, but he's so prominently featured. Like, I think Lettner is de-aged in like maybe 3 scenes in total, and he's always in the background.
In the background, and it's always got like that like almost like it has like a film to it, or whatever it was. Like a old school blur. Yeah. So it wasn't exactly. Yeah, it wasn't as obvious.
I have to question, like you were saying before, that he was brought in later because of Fan Demand. Like, but would they really have had the time to go back and add that in and de-age him? Like, I feel that that's something you do earlier on in production, not towards the end. But I didn't hear those reports.
I don't know. It might have been just his Alan character. It might have just been that. I don't know if it was Tron himself. They might have already had him like the de-aged version of Tron, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
So yeah, that was the good, the bad, and the ugly. We also like to do some reviews. So it's not just us. We share reviews from other people's critics.
These are online reviews.
Yeah, online reviews.
So we'll call it. We'll call it from now on. Online reviews.
I'm gonna pull mine. I usually pull mine from Metacritic if I'm able to. Like,
yours is the professional side of things. Mine are just this Joe Schmo, Joe Blow down the street kind of reviews.
And I generally try and get like a scope from the very good to very bad, and try pick stuff that I feel like, even if I don't agree, I know what they're kind of implying. Like, I can see their point. Even if I don't agree with that point, I see what you're trying to say. Surprisingly, I was going to mention this, I usually don't mention it, but Metacritic has a very low score for this movie. From the critics, it's like 49.
Out of 100?
Out of 100.
That's ridiculous.
And then I think, I have to look again, because I wasn't really looking at the audience score. I think the audience score was about 72.
I'll say if you're going based on the story itself, then I can see it being lower, but then you're missing out on the best part of the movie.
Like I read through a lot of them, and most of them just seemed like they didn't get the high tech. They felt either it was too high tech or that was just like a fad. It's what it seems like in their reviews. But really, like the highest one that I think I saw, I didn't use that one, but I think like it was like an 80. 80 of 100 is the highest it went. But on the high end of what I am sharing with you guys today, from the Rolling Stone, Bridges has a fine time playing with himself, so to speak. Add Garrett Hedlund as Flynn's son Sam, the rebel who zaps himself into the server to find his lost dad, and director Joseph Kosinski has a recipe for adventure that should delight gamers. Non-techies are on their own. 75 out of 100. I don't see like the...
I do wonder if I'm missing a lot of the lingo when they're talking about like the grain and all the, even the ISOs and stuff. I'm wondering if I'm missing a bunch of stuff. Is there some disconnect because I don't know all that lingo? But you know what? I still have a hell of a good time with it.
Yeah, I didn't ever feel lost by that. Like, and the gamer stuff, like, yeah, there was a few games to play, but I mean...
No, it's not about the games.
It's kind of like gladiatorial in a sense. It's like, if you watch Ben-Hur, you're like, oh, if you're not a sports fan, you're not going to get this movie. It's like, that's not what it's about at all.
Well, it's like going into like Wreck-It Ralph and saying like, oh, if you're not a fan of games, and there's a more of a story that doesn't actually involve the game watching.
And that's what I felt like a lot of those reviews. Like I said, like as soon as that, it's high tech, it's digital, and that somehow turned them off. Anyways, from Empire, something more middle of the road in terms of what they were giving. A triumph of art and direction, sound design, and Gallic fat beats, but could do with a script upgrade and a fun.exe patch. Score of 60 out of 100. Like a fun patch. Like, it gets a little dry, I'm not going to lie.
No, but their review, like, that's basically right. I would agree with what they said, right? 100%.
I think it's just the story, that was what they said. The story needs to be pumped up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't, Well, we didn't do our reviews.
We'll do reviews after
give
this.
Our score.
I kind of like this better, actually, doing the online reviews before we do our own. So that way people are left wondering, what are we thinking?
And then finally, the AV Club. This is the lowest one that I'm going to go bring to you guys today. Disney has once again constructed a digital environment out of cutting-edge special effects. Only this time, it isn't merely silly. It's as dry and talky as a PBS panel show. 33 out of 100. 33.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty brutal. Again, I can't understand where they're coming. The whole talking of it, the story, blah, blah, blah. It is boring in that sense.
It's dry. I don't think it's as dry and talky as a panel show. Like,
no. They're
always kind of on the move. Like, maybe that one part in Jeff Bridges' hideout. But that only lasts, like, 5 minutes.
And the thing is, like, even if it is a dry moment, talking-wise, just look around you. Like, it still looks awesome. It is still a visual spectacle. And
I kind of wonder if people saw this movie, like if it came out today, now that we're much more in tune with phones. Like my mom is like in her 60s and she's got a phone and she kind of appreciates digital more and stuff now. Like, would the new appreciation that people have from it being around for 20 or 15 years since this movie came out, would they be like, oh, you know what, this actually is a sweet movie? Because
and I some reviews that I read, they're the Letterboxd ones, some of them I saw were saying like this movie is kind of ahead of its time. Like, it wasn't appreciated at the time. But I will go into some Letterboxd reviews. I do my own Letterboxd reviews. Go ahead and check me out, CountryBoy_9. But I love looking at people's reviews because some of them are just ridiculous and some of them are on point. So I'll read a couple here. This one here says, some autistic guy told me this was his favorite movie. Dog, being autistic must rock if you think this movie is good. Half a star, this guy gave.
Oh, I was like, if he thinks it's good, I'm like
the autistic guy thought it was good.
I know.
Not the guy right now.
But it rocks, like, oh, this is good. I thought,
No, he said dog. He's like, it must rock being autistic because this not. He's like, it's not good.
I thought he would be like, I want to be autistic. Maybe I am.
Basically. Another half-star review I'll do is, I don't get what anybody sees in this. It's unwatchable. Tron Ares looks interesting, though. How can you think Tron Ares looks interesting if you hated this? It makes no sense.
And that's something I was going to say, like...
it bothers me.
Tron Ares is bringing it to the real world. I'm like, but I want the Tron, the grid world.
I know. So I'm probably not going to get any of my games because they're not going to be in the grid world.
Yeah.
But those were some of the bad reviews. I'll read a couple of good reviews. This movie was so ahead of its time, like I mentioned. And if y'all weren't a bunch of mother effing haters, we could have got another movie with Sam and Cora. P.S. I love you, Daft Punk. Most goated soundtrack in existence. This person really likes Daft Punk.
Yeah, it seems like they probably won't bring back Sam.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be like a teaser of some sort.
I don't like Bridges.
It's there if they're bringing them to Tron to the real world. I mean, the opportunity is there for them to come back.
Like, I think Bridges could be a possibility. Not really Sam. I'd like him to, but I don't see it happening.
The trailer showed Jeff Bridges.
Okay.
In one of the trailers.
And then Cora, like, I don't think Olivia Wilde would do it. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, and then you'd see if she does age or not.
And then like, so if Tron's there, if he's back, like, would they get like Leitner's appearance? I don't know if he would come back either. Like, if he barely came for the second one, I don't know, would they even get?
I bet he'd come back. And the last review I got here, it's so that was a 5-star review. This is another 5-star review. The thing about perfection is that it's unknowable, which is a quote from the movie. A perfectly imperfect movie. My soul ascended watching this in theaters again. Beautiful. Beautifully well written.
Watching it again.
I guess they must have saw it. Maybe there's certain theaters that are showing it again before Aries, I'm guessing.
If I had the chance, I'd go see it again in theaters before Aries.
No, I can't remember if I saw it in 3D or not, because...
I saw it 3D.
I can't remember. I might have saw it with you, though. Did we see it together?
That was 15 years ago. I don't remember.
I know. I feel like we would have, though. I can't remember. Because I read also that, like, this was, like, the 3D technology that came out after Avatar, too. So it would have been even, like, more enhanced 3D-wise.
You know, it doesn't do any of that stuff, like, when they kind of made 3D things big again.
Yeah.
Like, there was always, like, something coming out of the screen or something.
Whoa!
Aside from maybe some of those discs zooming by,
yeah,
it doesn't feel forced. Like, even watching it on a regular TV,
yeah,
those discs zooming by, like, you're not like, oh, this was just for the 3D effect.
Yeah, it wasn't like a slow motion coming at you sort of thing.
So then I'll give my actual score.
A lot of reviews now,
Yeah. So I wrote it down because last time you were like, when we did Space Cop, you're like, did you write that down or whatever?
You just copied me.
I gave this an 8 out of 10. I liked it a lot, but the story brings it down. Like, if you had a solid story that was as awesome and sick as the music and the visuals, you'd have a 10 out of 10. But the story, yeah, that knocks it down. And Clue's look and Jeff Bridges de-aging just... Yeah.
Well, you're just copying me again, Lewis, because I had an 8.0.
Your words are written down.
I literally have it written right there in my phone. My review, 8.0. 8.0. Again, yeah, like I said, the visuals, that's like a 10. Other than the Jeff Bridges thing, that's like a 10. The music is like a 10. Yeah. But then the story bogs it down to like a 6. So I go in between there, and I'm like, okay, it's an 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, it was so weird. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I like this, I'm enjoying this, and then I'm just like, but where am I going with this story? Like, it's cool to be here. It's like being in an amusement park, and you got all these lights and cool things to look at or whatever, but there's nothing to really ride, or the roller coaster is just a flat thing that goes in a circle.
Yeah, it's like the tick, 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 tick for forever. and then it's like I'm not even a big...
Then you're at the end. It's like,
big drop.
Yeah, that's how I describe it. So yeah, that was our take on Tron Legacy. That really, I think we could both say you should go out and watch this if you haven't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Even if the story isn't that great, it is just visually so beautiful.
Can't say you need to watch it for Tron Aries, but it wouldn't hurt.
I'm thinking you probably should. Probably.
Yeah. But where can we find you at?
You can find me all over the place. Like I said, I'm on Letterboxd. I'm also on Twitter, Twitch, TikTok as CountryBoy_9 or CountryBoy9er. Go ahead. I unboxed a bunch of things on YouTube, so check that out. Plus, we're on another channel together with another friend of ours called Wasted Opinions. You can check that out as well, where we did do a review of the very first movie. It's like an 18-minute video, and I don't even think I said a lot. I was so quiet back then.
Yeah. And Muskeg said nothing.
Yeah.
He didn't watch it.
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't review things that only two of us have seen.
We'll put it, we'll have a link, you guys can get to it.
That's what we'll have playing in the background here, just our review.
Yeah, I'll do it now. I am the Lewis Lightning, that's all one word, the Lewis Lightning. It's on YouTube. I have a channel with some older videos of like gameplay stuff. You can also find me on Twitch from time to time, playing this and that, whatever's, got my fancy at that moment. But yeah,
but like we said, this is Trapped in a Simulation month.
Yeah.
So we do have one more movie coming for you, and it is October. So we kind of got to tie that in with something that kind of goes in that theme. So I don't know if you guys can guess what it is. We'll tell you right away. It's a pretty cool movie. Cabin in the Woods. That's the movie we're going to be checking out later on in the month. It felt like kind of goes with the Halloween theme, kind of goes with the simulation theme. Yeah. So that's kind of why we chose that one. So stay tuned for that one later on in the month. We're going to have a good time talking about that one as well, too.
Yep. See you guys on the grid.
Okay, you got to put like a visual in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking last couple times I was doing that, all you saw was the glare, like the sheen of the
Oh
lights.
yeah, it's just fuck because it's that.
So I'll do my good first.
Okay.
We're talking about the good.
Shit.
That was not
Pause.
good. That was not good.
Ah, damn it.